My name's Justin Kruger. I'm the founder and CEO of Project Helping. Project Helping's a nonprofit. It is an organization that is focused on innovative ways to help people improve their mental well-being.
My name is Katrina, and I'm the Director of Community Programs. Our community programs team is a team of individuals who coordinate all of the in-person volunteer experiences. In-person volunteering is your more traditional volunteering where you go out into the community, and we work with a variety of nonprofit partners to assess their needs and make it super easy for individuals to just sign up and show up through us. Volunteerism to me is getting out into your community and doing good for others, whether that be your traditional serving a meal or doing some gardening or sorting donations, or if it's simply just taking the time to help someone out with something. It's just a matter of taking your time to give it to others.
I'm Summer. I'm the Director of Kind Kids at Project Helping. Kind Kids are volunteer projects in a box, essentially. So we ship them all over the world. We have around 30 different kits that serve over 20 different populations in need. And so it's as easy as shipping a Kind Kit to your door. You have all the materials to do a meaningful volunteer experience, whether it's giving back to someone who's unhoused, giving back to a foster youth. So you have all the materials that you need to put together a volunteer experience for someone in need. Someone described it yesterday as like a virtual hug, like giving someone a kit who could use a smile or could use a hug. And so it's from a stranger, but it's like a nice hug or a smile from someone else.
My name is Chris Weiss, and I am the Director of Development here at Project Helping. Project Helping is here to make volunteerism ridiculously easy, and we do that in a number of ways, primarily through our Kind Kit program, where we are shipping out the volunteer experience in a box all across the world. Project Helping's Kind Kit program really is incredible, and it's really beneficial from a corporate social responsibility standpoint because we are able to help them facilitate volunteerism across their company. And a lot of times that is literally across the globe. We also facilitate in-person volunteerism, so we have corporate groups, community groups come into this space right here and participate in volunteer projects. And then we also go out into the community and do volunteer projects with local nonprofit partners.
Denver Children's Home mission is to help children and families who have been through trauma and abuse heal and restore hope through therapy, education, and community-based programs. Working with Project Helping has been amazing. With them coming in and interacting with the kids, they are able to know that they are cared for by outside community members and count on seeing them twice a month. Our kids strive on structure, so knowing that, hey, they are going to see them on Tuesday and Thursday is great for them. And they also get to create that bond with the Project Helping staff, but also with volunteers who keep coming back.
Urban Peak ignites the potential in youth experiencing homelessness to exit homelessness and live self-determined and fulfilled lives. Project Helping ends up coordinating a group of volunteers to prepare sack lunches remotely and drop them off at our site. And that's super helpful because of the donation that they provide, but also we have a limited space right now, and so every inch of this building is utilized by our team and by our clients. So having Project Helping volunteers prepare those sack lunches remotely really allows us to maximize our space in every way possible, and then having a meal ready for when lunch comes around.
Everything we do here is focused on making it easy for people to give back because doing so is good for them. So every type of volunteer experience we offer is focused on that very singular thing, whether we're hosting traditional in-person volunteer events out in the community or whether we're sending someone a Kind Kit, which is a volunteer project in a box that they can do wherever they are. all of those things have the same mission, which is to get people involved in meaningful activity because it boosts your mental well-being. When I first volunteered and realized the benefit that it had on my mental well-being, I started looking for ways to give back more often. I was very frustrated by how hard it is just to find something and sign up. Like if you just want to go help someone, it's not as easy as find it, sign up, go do it. It's find it, sign up, train, or wait, or whatever the case may be. And I was using it as a mental wellness tool. So the whole point of starting this thing was to make it so easy for people to get involved that they could just find something, sign up, show up. That's it. So yes, we make it sound easy, and that is our goal, but there's a lot of work and effort and time that goes into making it that easy for people.
Other volunteer programs often require some sort of assessment or training or background check. We try to make it as simple as possible by having it just be a simple name, email, phone number, sign up, and then you just go. We handle all of the behind the scenes and work with our nonprofit partners to let them know what information they need.
We have been very focused since the very beginning on a wide range of volunteer opportunities. We want people to be able to plug into something that they find meaningful, and we want to meet people where they are. So when we develop in-person or traditional volunteer events, the idea is find something you are interested in, sign up, show up, make it incredibly easy. That's different for everyone. So some of those examples are serving a meal at a shelter, cleaning up a park. It could be anything, really, and our focus is making things meaningful, accessible, and social. Those elements are what drives really good mental wellness outcomes from our volunteer events. Early on in our existence, as we were having conversations with volunteers, we wanted to explore how we could make it easier for them to give back, to be involved. And like all of us, those volunteers voiced that they had very busy lives and a lot of barriers to getting involved. That pain point is what brought the concept for Kind Kids to life, which was, can we put a volunteer project in a box that we can send to people anywhere, anytime? You can have anything delivered now, why not a volunteer project? So at its core, that's what Kind Kids was designed to be, was a volunteer project that you could order and have shipped the next day, shows up at your house or your office, and there's a project you can do that's gonna help someone. I don't remember how old Riley was when she came to me and said she was struggling. I do remember that we had people over to our house for dinner, some friends. And after they left, we sat in our bedroom and it took her, best I can recall, about 90 minutes just to get the words out. We just sat there and cried, and I tried to guess what was going on, which is a long list of potential things. And it's funny because I knew the answer, but I was really, really terrified to say, like, are you thinking about hurting yourself? And it took me 90 minutes to ask that question, like as we just sat there. And as soon as I said it, she, I don't want to say was relieved, but kind of was relieved that like I had guessed it, because she couldn't say it. And I was in a unique position working in the mental health space at the time to be able to get her resources, get her access to therapists and whatever she needed. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter, because she still ended up making a suicide attempt, which, as someone that has struggled, and then as someone that used that struggle to try to help other people, felt like the most debilitating failure for me as a parent. Because who's gonna be better suited to help their kid than I should have been? And I couldn't. It's hard in the moment when your daughter is fighting for her life to realize that you are learning something from it and that you can learn something from it and that it can help people. But as you get farther and farther away from it, the lessons become much more clear. As Riley was struggling, she was in high school, I got to know her school counselors and the process of leaving school, coming back to school, being out of school for months, coming back to school. I got to know that process really, really well. And as part of that process and as part of those conversations with her school counselors and administrators, I started to learn where the schools had some gaps in their own access to resources for kids. And it was a very organic conversation with Riley's school counselor where I learned that if Riley was struggling during the day, there wasn't always access to a resource for her at that time, like in real time, which when a kid is struggling at the level that Riley was struggling at that time, access to real-time resources is super important. Simultaneously, we had developed, as part of our Kind Kids, a teen mental health care kit, which also was sort of colored by Riley's experience and my experience with Riley. So we had developed this teen mental health care kit. And I said to her counselor, I said, we have these kits, we have this resource that we'd be happy to bring in and just put in here and see what happens. Like, just see if kids use these and if it resonates with them. So we brought in some teen mental health care kits into the counseling center at the high school. We brought in 40 kits at about 1 o'clock on a Monday afternoon. And by the next morning, they were gone. The school counselor called me and she said, the kits are all gone. And I was like, what does gone mean in this context? What does that mean? But a couple kids had done them, told their friends, and organically, with no flyers, no outreach, the kits were used. And the kids were engaging with them in the way they were intended. So we brought another 100, and those didn't make it to the end of the week. So we found very organically through these conversations, through Riley's struggle, through my curiosity as a parent, that there was an opportunity there for us to help kids. And that quickly turned into our Kind Schools program, where we give teen and now youth mental health care kits both to any school that wants them, completely free. And so when you look backwards and you can connect the dots of what came from that, it makes sense, and you see the good that came from it, but you can't see it while it's happening, which is difficult. So you do the best you can in the moment, try to make the best decisions that you can, and trust that it's gonna mean something at the end of the day. If we can make volunteerism as widely accepted as a mental wellness tool as therapy, we would be successful. My hope is that the future of Project Helping is widespread acceptance and understanding that going out and doing something good for someone is an effective, meaningful mental wellness tool.